Mew. Mew is the first mythical Pokemon introduced in Pokemon. It is a small, cat-like Pokemon with a round, embryo-like body, smooth skin, and a long tail. Despite being a psychic type, Mew can learn almost every move in the game because it has the DNA of every Pokemon in its genetic code. This unique feature has led people to believe that it is the ancestor of all Pokemon. In addition, due to its incredible psychic ability, Mew is able to levitate, turn invisible, and even teleport. Despite it being what Mewtwo was cloned from, their personalities couldn't be more different. Where Mewtwo is cold, aggressive, and proud, Mew is a shy and playful creature that has been shown to go out of its way to help its friends in need. It is almost childlike and incredibly intelligent. The name Mew may be a combination of mutant or mutation and new. The trend of mythical Pokemon being extremely difficult to find was started by Mew, but wasn't exactly intentional, at least not on Nintendo's part. Mew was originally such a secret when it came out that even Nintendo didn't know it existed. Its creator, Shigeki Morimoto, noticed that there was a little bit of extra space on the game's cartridge and slotted Mew in at the last minute without anyone realizing it. So there was almost no way to discover it unless you went into the game data and looked for it. Celebi. Celebi is a dual-type grass and psychic Pokemon that resembles a fairy and a budding plant. It is the second mythical Pokemon to be introduced. Celebi is quite unique as it has the ability to time travel. It was shown that Celebi had used its time travel abilities, which it used to introduce a young Professor Oak to Ash, which likely led to the events of the main anime. It has also been shown to have the ability to detect people and objects that aren't from that point in time and send them back to where they are meant to be, which it did to Professor Oak. It has rarely been seen by people and tends to hide deep in the forest it protects, where it heals the animals and causes the plants to flourish. Despite its reclusive nature, Celebi is extremely friendly and playful when with humans it trusts. It's believed that seeing Celebi means that there is a bright future ahead. Celebi may be a combination of Seidei, meaning spirit in Japanese, Ceres, the Roman god of fertility, celebrate or celestial serenity, and Bi, meaning beautiful in Japanese. Jirachi. Jirachi is a steel and psychic type Pokemon from Generation 3 that is heavily themed after a shooting star. It has a star-like shape on its head with 3 points and 3 talismans hanging from each point. It is small and fairy-like with stubby hands and legs, and a third eye that is usually closed on its stomach. Jirachi has what can really only be described as reality manipulation, as it can grant any wish that it is given, though it only grants 3 wishes every 1,000 years. The wishes are written on the talismans that hang from its head. When not granting wishes, Jirachi sleeps for all but 1 week in 1,000 years. These abilities are represented in Jirachi's signature moves. Wish allows it to heal itself or a switched Pokemon, and its signature move, Doom Desire, involves it making a wish and then inflicting damage to the target after 2 turns. The name Jirachi may be derived from the Russian word for wish. Deoxys. Like the name suggests, Deoxys is the DNA Pokemon. It is predominantly orange with blue and gray accents and long tentacle-like arms. While it has a humanoid figure, its body changes depending on which of its 4 forms it is in, whether it's normal, speed, defense, or attack form. Each of these forms greatly increases the stats associated with them. However, Deoxys is usually caught in its normal form. Though a very little is known of its origins, other than it is a mutation of an alien virus that was exposed to a mysterious laser. Deoxys is known to travel from planet to planet inside a meteor. It is a psychic type that has been shown to be incredibly smart and stoic. However, despite its generally cold and calculating nature, it has a long-standing feud with Rayquaza. The name Deoxys is derived from the full term for DNA deoxyribonucleic acid, Manaphy. Manaphy are water-type mythical Pokemon and, along with Fiane, are the only breedable mythical Pokemon. They are friendly creatures that swim long distances to return to the cold, deep sea they belong to. On rare occasions in the past, Manaphys have been known to visit Hisui's shorelines. Manaphy can telepathically communicate with people and Pokemon. It uses its heart swap to swap bodies between humans and Pokemon. Most of a Manaphy's body is made of water and is greatly affected by the environment. Because of this, if a Manaphy reproduces in an ocean that's warmer than those that they are native to, the child will be a Fione, as opposed to another Manaphy. Manaphy is based on a sea angel, a type of free-swimming, predatory sea slug that typically lives in polar oceans. The name Manaphy may come from mana and fairy. Fione. Fione are water-type Pokemon that are bred from Manaphy in warmer waters. It has a flotation sac on its head, which it inflates to drift just beneath the surface and search for food, which is why it's called the Sea Drifter Pokemon. Fiona's main body color is blue, with black eyes, a red oval chest gem, slender arms, a stubby build, and underdeveloped legs. Unlike Manaphy, Fiona lives in warm seas. The name Fiona may be a combination of Manaphy and Cleone, a genus of floating sea slugs. Darkrai. Darkrai is a dark-type Pokemon that resembles a shadow or a phantom. It has a small head with a white fog coming out of it, covering one of its bright blue eyes. Darkrai causes people and Pokemon severe nightmares. This has made people to see it as evil and malevolent. However, this is really just a defense mechanism, and Darkrai has no ill intent. Darkrai is also capable of flying at high speeds and turning into a shadow in order to escape danger or contact with humans. Darkrai is Cresselia's lover, though most people think they're enemies because of their polar nature. Darkrai may be a combination of dark and kurai, the Japanese word for dark. Shaman. Shaman is a grass-type mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 4, with two forms, a land form and a sky form. Shaman's land form looks similar to a hedgehog. Its body is pure white, and on its back, it has green grass, along with a pink Grashidea flower growing on either side of its head. Shaman's sky form is drastically different from its land form. In this form, Shaman is still rather small, but slightly larger than its land form, with a reindeer-like appearance. In this form, it is a grass and flying-type dual type. Landform Shaman lives in fields of flowers, being rather shy. It camouflages itself by rolling up into a ball and blending into the field. Skyform Shaman, on the other hand, has a courageous, energetic, and playful personality. It spreads feelings of gratitude when it takes flight. It switches from the land form to the sky form when given a Grashidea flower in the daytime and switches back to the land form at night. Shaman can instantly purify any polluted area of all impurities in the air and transform it into a lush field of flowers. It takes in the polluted air, purifies it inside its body, breaks it down into water and light, and releases the purified substance into a violent, explosive burst. Shaman can also communicate with telepathy and sense the gratitude of others. Shaman comes from the words shaman and xie, Chinese for thank you. Arceus. Arceus is basically the god of the Pokemon universe. Arceus is known as the original one because it made the entire Pokemon universe. It is also the creator of the Lake Guardians, Uxie, Azelf, and Mesprit, and the Pokemon of myth, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Arceus resembles a horse with a white, gray, and gold body and a golden ring around its body. According to Arceus itself in Legends Arceus, it doesn't have a true physical form, and the form we see is just a proxy it uses in the physical world. It was known to care for and safeguard the planet in ancient times, protecting the world from cataclysms such as meteors, and it would show gratitude and compassion to those who treated it with kindness. However, when it is needed in modern times, it only gives hints on how to solve problems instead of directly interfering. Despite being generally benevolent, Arceus will attack in a violent rampage if betrayed or deceived. It has the unique ability Multi-Type. Multi-Type allows Arceus to change its type based on whichever plate or type-specific Z crystal it is currently holding. It also has the ability to open time-space rifts, which it can use to summon humans from different points in time. Arceus' name may be a combination of Arche, which is ancient for origin, and authority, and Deus, which is Latin for God. Victini. Victini is a dual-type psychic fire that is set to bring victory to the trainer that it befriends it. It also produces an infinite amount of energy within itself and can share the energy with others. It is a very shy and elusive Pokemon that only reveals itself to people it trusts. However, being a fire type, Victini's temper will flare up if it feels the need to defend its friends. Physically, it is a small, rabbit-like Pokemon with large, pointed ears that form the letter V. It has large, blue eyes and a round, cream-colored head, which is comparatively large compared to its small, cream body, while the tops of its ears, crest, and extremities are all orange. Victini comes from victory, teeny, and tiny. Keldeo. Keldeo is a dual-type water-fighting mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. It is a member of the Swords of Justice, along with Virizion, Cobalion, and Terrakion. When it knows the move Secret Sword, it changes from its original ordinary form to its resolute form. In ordinary form, Keldeo is a small unicorn. It is mainly pale yellow in color, with light blue fur covering its neck and the back of its head. In resolute form, Keldeo's dark blue eyebrows turn into smaller light blue eyebrows, and its horn is now bigger and dark blue. On its mane, it now has 3 feathers, matching the colors of the others in the trio, green, orange, and blue. It is thought that when Keldeo becomes resolute, its body fills with power and it becomes swifter. Keldeo can shoot water from its hooves to propel itself. It uses the technique to run across bodies of water and jump high distances. Its horn is also able to cut through anything with its immense hidden power. Keldeo is based on the Scottish legend of the Kelpie, a supernatural water horse that sometimes appeared as a lost pony. This explains why it appears in the Crown Tundra, an area heavily based on Scotland. Keldeo is also very likely based on a unicorn. Keldeo and its Japanese name, Kerudio, seems to be derived from Kelpie and rodeo. Meloetta. Meloetta is a dual-type normal psychic mythical Pokemon. According to artist in Unova, Meloetta's beautiful music and dance inspired many works of art, music, and songs. Its melodies can make both humans and Pokemon feel happy or sad, and unseal ancient ruins. Meloetta has two forms, its default form, Aria form, and a second form, the normal fighting type Piruet form. Meloetta changes forms when it uses the move Relic Song during a battle and reverts to Aria form when switched out or when the battle ends. Physically, Meloetta has a feminine form with musical bar-style streaks in its hair, quarter notes for its arms and hands, and pupilless eyes resembling whole notes. In its Aria form, Meloetta has light blue eyes and flowing, wavy hair with light blue ovals that resemble whole notes. In its Pirouette form, it has auburn hair in a high bun and red eyes. Meloetta is capable of flying and temporarily turning invisible, and its song can be channeled to summon and control the original three forces of nature Pokemon. However, this process can cause it agonizing pain. The name Meloetta may be a combination of melody, pirouette operetta, and the Italian feminine suffix eta. Genesect. Genesect is an ancient bug steel type mythical Pokemon that lived 300 million years ago. Scientists from Team Plasma revived it from its fossil and added a cybernetic cannon to its back, which has multiple modes. It has a purple metallic body with a wide, flat head. It has two red eyes and a wide mouth with exposed white teeth, giving it a grinning appearance. Genesect has four special forms, which are activated by inserting a drive in the cannon on its back. The drive's light is visibly different depending on which mode Genesect is in. The different modes change the type of Genesect's signature move, Technoblast. When not holding any drive, the light is orange and Technoblast is normal type. When it is holding the shock drive, the light turns yellow and Technoblast is electric type. With the burn drive, it becomes fire type and the light turns red. The chill drive makes it an ice type attack with a white indicator light, and the douse drive makes it a water type attack with a blue light. Genesect and its Japanese name, Genosketo, are likely derived from genetic, generator, and insect. Diancie. Diancie is a rock and fairy type Pokemon. It is believed to rule over an underground kingdom of jewels called the Diamond Domain and is served by Carbinks. It also creates the Heart Diamond, a mystical gemstone, the source of energy that fuels the Diamond Domain. Diancie can also create diamonds by compressing the carbon in the atmosphere between its hands. It has a humanoid upper body with a feminine, princess-like appearance, a large gem embedded in its forehead, and what looks like hair made of pink diamonds. Its lower body is a large boulder with a single gem. The Yancy could be based on the Carbuncle, a mythical creature that has a jewel embedded on its forehead. Its appearance could also be based on a play of words on a princess-cut diamond. Since it looks like a princess, the Yancy may be a combination of diamond, fancy, pixie, and ishi, Japanese for stone. Hoopa. Hoopa is a dual-type psychic ghost mythical Pokemon. While it doesn't evolve, Hoopa has an alternate form, which it changes into by using the prison bottle. Its default form, Hoopa Confined, will then become the dual-type Psychic Dark Hoopa Unbound. In Generation 6 and 7, Hoopa Unbound will revert into Hoopa Confined, while in the player's party if 3 days have passed since changing to Hoopa Unbound. Hoopa Confined is a small Pokemon who wears yellow rings around its horns and belly. Its eyes are green and its body is pink and violet. When transformed into Hoopa Unbound, it is a large purplish-gray genie with triangular red eyes, a long tail with a spike at the end, 6 arms, and a ring in its chest. It has big, spiky red hair in a ponytail, and big horns with rings held tightly around them. Hoopa's true power is said to have been sealed away in the prison bottle because of its destructive and mischievous nature, reducing Hoopa to its smaller, weaker form. Opening the bottle grants Hoopa its true form once again, but only for 3 days. The rings on Hoopa's body can warp space and allow it to transport items, humans, and Pokemon by passing them through its hoops. Hoopa is connected to many strange events because of these mysterious powers. Hoopa is based on traditional depictions of genies, being connected to a bottle and having magical powers. It may also be based on Neja, a multi-armed trickster deity from Taoism, as is often depicted as holding or wearing rings. In its unbound form, it may take inspiration from Shakti, a Hindu deity said to be made of cosmic energy and have multiple arms. It also appears to be based on depictions of devils due to its horns and sharp-tipped tail. The name Hoopa likely comes from the word hoop. Volcanion. Volcanion is a maroon, lion-like Pokemon with blue and yellow markings on its body, and the only fire-water type Pokemon thus far. With a specialized organ, Volcanion is able to instantly convert water vapor into steam. The converted steam is launched at such high pressure it can destroy mountains. It can run out of water within its body to use. When this happens, it makes a sound similar to a bell, and the lines and dots on its cannons turn red. The name Volcanion comes from volcano and lion. Magiarna. Magiarna is a steel fairy artificial Pokemon created by humans 500 years ago. Magiarna is a metallic doll made up primarily of spheres. Its head is a medium-sized sphere with a slight point in the back. Around Magiarna's head is a gear with 7 teeth, although the gear does not cover its chin. It has 2 large rabbit-like ears with gold rims. Magiarna was created by a scientist as a gift to royalty. It has the ability to feel others' pain, which makes it extremely empathetic, trying as hard as it can to save injured Pokemon. When it falls asleep or when it is sad, Magiarna can take the appearance of a Pokeball. This form is called Original Color Magiarna, as this is how it was initially created. Its name is made of the words magic, gear, machina, and the feminine suffix a. Marshadow. Marshadow is a fighting ghost-type mythical Pokemon. It resembles a shadow with a wispy figure that seems to be wearing some sort of helmet. Marshadow is a cautious Pokemon and can sink into the shadows to ensure it is not noticed, similar to Gengar. While hiding in the shadows of others, it can understand their feelings and even copy their abilities. Through Mimicry, it will eventually become more powerful than those it imitates. Marshadow may be based on the shadowboxing exercise. It also shares traits with Night Marchers and Menacune from Hawaiian mythology. It can turn into its alternate form, Zenith Marshadow, when attacking or enraged. Marshadow may be a combination of martial arts, Night Marcher, and Shadow. Zariora. Zariora is a bipedal feline Pokemon with primarily yellow and black fur, and the only electric-type mythical Pokemon. Zariora was born from an explosion caused by a bolt of lightning striking an erupting volcano. It lacks an electricity-generating organ, so it gathers and stores electricity from outside sources. When it uses massive amounts of electricity, its fur stands on end all over its body. The blue spike on the center of its forehead becomes like an electrified horn. Zeraora is a combination of the words zap and tora, which is Japanese for tiger. Meltan. Meltan is a Steel-type 1 Pokemon that had its debut in Pokemon Go. Meltan is a small Pokemon with a silvery body of liquid metal. Its head is hard and resembles a golden hexagonal nut, with a small black sphere floating inside. Its liquid body allows Meltan to corrode any metal and absorb it. It generates electrical energy from the metal it absorbs. Meltan can be very curious, showing interest in many things. In Pokemon Go, Meltan evolves into Melmetal when it is fed 400 Meltan candy. In the main games, it cannot evolve at all. Therefore, the Eviolite has no effect on Meltan. In the anime, Meltan evolves into Melmetal by combining with multiple members of its own species. Meltan may be a combination of melt, metal, and tan, a Japanese suffix. Melmetal. Melmetal is the evolution of Meltan, and the only mythical Pokemon that is an evolution. It is a large silver Pokemon with a vaguely humanoid build that consists mostly of liquid metal. Many dark gray hexagonal nuts are embedded in or attached to its body. Melmetal was worshipped by humans many years ago because of its ability to manipulate and create metal from nothing. It lived in a secluded area deep within a forest that was full of sedimentary rocks with magnetite. When Melmetal reaches the end of its life, it will rust and split itself into multiple Meltan from the small shards left behind. The name Melmetal and its Japanese name Merumetaru comes from melt and metal. Zarude. Zarude is a dual-type dark grass mythical Pokemon introduced during Generation 8 in the Isle of Armor. Zarude is a black baboon-like Pokemon. Its head is shaped like an X, and its eyes are red with green irises and black pupils. It can extend prehensile vines from its wrists, neck, and the soles of its feet at will. It uses these strong and flexible vines to attack, swing from trees, and collect food from a distance. They can also rapidly heal wounds by wrapping around them and absorbing energy from trees. Zarude are social and live in troops. They're usually incredibly aggressive and frighten most other Pokemon. They attack anyone who isn't part of their pack and protect the sacred healing springs of the Heart Tree. Despite their aggressive nature, they occasionally exhibit a softer side. A Zarude named Dada split from its pack to raise and nurture an orphaned human infant. It is said that this Zarude derived a unique strength from its bond with the adopted human child. The name Zarude may be a combination of Saru, which is monkey in Japanese, and rude. Pecharunt. Pecharunt is a dual-type poison ghost mythical Pokemon introduced during Generation 9 in the Indigo Disc and is the leader of the Royal Three. It is a small Pokemon with a purple body and a pink face with white eyes and mouth. It also appears to be wearing a white headband with 2 purple strands of purple hair covering it partially and has a ponytail that is pink-tipped. Much like the Guardian Deities, it has a shell that closes around it. In its case, its shell resembles a peach. Pecharunt stores poison in its peach-shaped shell and uses it to create toxic chains and roll a poisonous binding mochi. It is able to use its toxic chains in combat, badly poisoning its enemies in the process. The chains are also capable of empowering other Pokemon using its toxins to enhance certain aspects of their bodies, such as their muscles, brain, or looks, as seen with Okidogi, Munkidori, and Pheasantipede, respectively. The mochi draws out the deepest desires and powers of whoever eats it, but they become chained to Pecharunt's will. Pecharunt, along with Ogerpon, Okidogi, Munkidori, and Pheasantipede, are based creatures of the Japanese folktale Momotaro, Peach Boy. Pecharunt specifically represents Momotaro himself. According to an unknown legend, Pecharunt was discovered by an old couple in a faraway land. The couple, who had no children of their own, adored Pecharunt similar to Momotaro. Pecharunt may be a combination of peach or pecaberry, and runt or petulant.